Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back to the Hero Whispers. You are here with your host, Jeannie Marie, Chief Supergirl and founder of Supergirls.com. That's 2 L's, the second L for love. Yes, welcome back. Today we have a beautiful, gorgeous woman from Texas, hailing from Houston, Texas, on the line. But before we meet Cassandra, because she is the bomb diggity, just a little 411 about our show in case people are new to listening to it. We are all about girl power and inspiration. We help and inspire young women to launch from college to life, and it takes a village. So I like to interview the most coolest females I can find on the planet, and we have one of those today. But just a little plug in case you young women are listening. We're doing a challenge in the next few weeks called Get Your Digital Chi, because everyone wants to know how to stand out online, and we are going to do that for you in 3 short days. Need more info? Go to my website, supergirls.com. That's 2 L's, the second L for love. And without further ado, let's meet Miss Cassandra Padilla. Welcome to the show! Woo!
Thank you. Yes.
I have been waiting forever I'm waiting forever to have this girl on the show. Okay. I am a breast cancer survivor, says Cassandra. I started a nonprofit called the Extra Mile Breast Cancer Foundation in 2003. Mm-hmm. After my own personal battle with breast cancer, I started the nonprofit to directly help cancer patients with non-medical expenses such as wigs, transportation, and medications, rent, mortgage, utility bills, etc., etc. I live in Magnolia, Texas, and I have been married for 32 years to a disabled retired Army veteran who served 26 years in the United States Army. Let's give a shout out to him. Woo!
Yeah.
Love that.
Woo.
Yay! After his return from deployment from serving 18 months in Iraq and Afghanistan, he was injured and was medically retired. So I started another nonprofit organization in 2019 called Keeping America's Promises. The purpose to serve veterans, first responders, and their families. What motivated me was my husband's return from Iraq with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and other combat-related injuries. My organization, Keeping America's Promises, helps to educate and bring awareness to mental health issues and suicide prevention. Our mission is to strengthen relationships and build communities. We strive to make a difference in our communities and build relationships with like-minded organizations to help fill the gap between our veterans and the communities they live in. I'm also a realtor in Texas, and I have written a book called My Extra Mile From Fear to Faith that will soon be released. It's a book about my journey through breast cancer and taking my pain to purpose. It's about how I overcame so many obstacles in my life. My mission now in life is to be the change I want to see in the world, making a difference in one life, one family at a time, leaving a legacy that my children can be proud of, and making the most out of this life God has blessed me with. Amen, Cassandra! Woo! We need more people like you out there. Yes.
Thank you, Jeannie.
I don't know how you have time to take out to be on our show, but I am super happy about that. So thank you.
I'm so thankful and so grateful to have the opportunity to speak with you and your listeners today.
Well, I'm gonna have to say you are like my hero. I mean, to be such a survivor and saving the world the way you are, one vet at a time, one family at a time. I mean, what inspires the spirit in you? You're like a serial nonprofit pioneer.
Well, one, as far as the Breast Cancer Foundation goes, it was just, I remember the day that I was diagnosed, and I was just completely shocked and devastated, of course. But I remember asking, praying and crying and asking God, why me? And I heard that still small voice say, why not you? It's not about you. It's all about me and what I want to do through you. You're just a vessel that I'm using. So, I took that, and actually prior to me, probably a couple of years prior to me being diagnosed, I was going through like a really, rough time in my life, and a lot of things just, weren't working out, and we were just going through a lot of personal things. And so, I remember, talking to my girlfriend, and we were, praying, and I said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And my girlfriend said, yeah, you know what to do. You need to pray, And I remember that I said, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I can't. And so, she prayed with me and prayed over me. And afterwards, I stood up and I saw a vision, which was the first time ever in my life. It just looked like it was just a movie, theater. It was clear, crystal clear as that. And I remember, I stood up, and I have a witness to that because my girlfriend, I spoke it out loud, and I said to her, I don't know what that means. I said, but I think I just saw a vision, and it showed me that I was on stage talking to a room full of women. And so I said at that time, I said, I don't know what this means. And so at the time, someone was trying to get me to sell Mary Kay. And so I said, I think it's that. She said, well, you think it's Mary Kay? Yeah. And I said, no, I don't think it's that. I said, it feels like it's something different. But anyway, nevertheless, the day that when I was diagnosed, and I was, like I said, again, just distraught and shocked, devastated and praying, God brought that back to my remembrance, And so I was like, wait a minute, wow, if I'm going to be talking to a room full of women, then that means I'm going to live, And so, so that was kind of where my spiritual journey, because I have a strong, belief, a faith in God. And so I just believe that, when you're going through certain trials and tribulations and things like that, you just need to have something that you can believe in. You know what I mean? Someone and something to believe in, to draw strength from. And so mine happens to be my faith.
Well, that is pretty epic. And I mean, the faith and that message itself is a big message to spread to people, because the struggle with breast cancer is real. I mean, so many people are afflicted by it, and I love that. I love that vision. I definitely have that vision too, all the time, because I speak to young college women, and it's in a different vein. But that is so awesome. And now you're doing it. So then you started. So that's how you got fired up to start the Extra Mile. How did that come about?
That's how I started the Extra Mile. That's how I started the Extra Mile, because when I was diagnosed, my husband and I had just purchased a brand new home, literally 2 months to the date that I was diagnosed. And so during those, then immediately after that, I was, diagnosed and wasn't able to work for a year, going through my treatments. And I had some complications with that, chemo. I had, months of chemotherapy, 33 radiation treatments, and I had, some complications with that. So I wasn't able to work for a year. So I said, all this money that they raise for cancer research and all these different organizations that are raising all this money for cancer. And, and I thank God for cancer research, because it had not been for cancer research, I wouldn't be here today. So I thank God for those wonderful organizations and what they're doing. But I was looking for an organization that could help me with, non-medical expenses, such as, my light bill, mortgage or whatever. Your wig, even a wig was $100. You know what I mean? That's expensive when you're not working. And so, and of course, as we all know, stress is at least the last thing you need to be doing. You're already stressed dealing with cancer. You don't need to add other stressors that compromise your immune system even more. And so, I looked for those organizations, and I really didn't find many organizations that, took care of those non-medical expenses. And so that's where the Extra Mile was founded from. That's where I got the idea. And I started a nonprofit because I wanted cancer patients to just be able to concentrate on getting well and not have to worry about, because there were times literally that I was laying on a radiation table having chemotherapy run through my veins, and I was wondering if my lights were going to be on when I get home. That's a real reality for a lot of cancer patients. And so that's where, we stepped in, and I wanted to make a difference and help, with those non-medical expenses. And so that's what we did.
But I love how you just, here you are almost dying from this thing, and you're thinking about other people. You just have some kind of special thing about you that you're always about no matter what's going on in your life, because you certainly have had a lot of hardship in your life personally and your family, and
Mhm.
I'm so sorry about that. But you've gone through. But what
Yes.
I love about you is like this pain to, how did you say it? Pain to purpose.
Pain to purpose. Yes. I take my pain and I turn it into purpose, you know, to help others. Because when you help others, you know, you help yourself. So in my healing, and in my pain, I look to help others because that gave me strength and it made me feel better, you know, because we're all here to be of service to one another. I mean, that's what we're here
Amen,
for, you know, that's
girl.
our
Amen.
purpose.
I wish more people really felt like that. I mean, especially now with everything
Hmm.
going on with the virus. You know,
Yes.
I really do. But anyway, it's great that the people that I know and that I hang out with feel like that, because I think, you know,
Hmm.
we attract each other, you know?
Yes, yes. I love your energy. I'm so thankful that you're in my life, that I've met you.
Oh,
Yes.
I need some of yours. So we're just gonna have a big old hug after this virus is over.
Yes.
Okay, so when can we? What this book that you wrote? So on top of
Yes.
starting the foundation, then as if you didn't have enough to do, then you wrote a book. And how can we? When can we read this? Where can we find this?
Well, it should be, you know, released here. It's with our publisher now. So we're believing that in the next, you know, 3 to 6 months, it'll definitely be on Amazon, you know, on all the you know, bookstores and everything like that. And then I'll be doing a book tour as well. So you'll definitely hear about it.
Oh, I hope you come up
Yes.
Northeast for your book tour. What do you?
Yes.
Is there
I'm
any way you
excited.
can read maybe like an excerpt from it, or a
Um,
sentence, or?
let's see. Let's see. Um, I wish I would have had it in front of me, but just off the top of my head, again, you know, I talk about, you know, that vision, you know what I mean? Where, you know, God showed me my end at the beginning. I said, wow, God, you showed me my end at the beginning. So that gave me the strength to make it through. And then I was actually, you know, years later, of course, I was on stage many times talking to rooms full of women and men. So that was just, I know that's something that's real near and dear to me, in my book. And then with my dad, for instance, my dad had lung cancer, and he passed away at the age of 58, and I took care of him, and that's in the book. And it just, you know, talks about, you know, his journey and seeing him go through it, and how, you know, myself going through it prior to my dad, I was able to, you know, really encourage him. I was even, you know, just educational wise, and even with the doctors, I actually brought my dad from Pittsburgh to live with me in North Carolina to deal with my team of doctors that I had, you know, personal relationships with after my own experience. So I talk about that in the book. And just like I said, my extra mile from fear to faith, you know, because literally, you know, an initial diagnosis of hearing cancer, everyone thinks, you know, the first thing I even said, you know, was, does that mean I'm going to die? You know what I
Of
mean? I remember
course.
saying that yes, and I remember saying that to the doctor, and he said to me, you know, I don't know, you know, we won't know until we go in. But initially, that fear came in me. I don't care how spiritual you are, you know, or who you believe in or what you believe in. Believe me, you get a diagnosis of cancer, and reality sets in. So that's where I'm saying that you'll need something and someone to believe in to help you experience and get through something traumatic and, you know, devastating as cancer. But it doesn't
I'm
have to be, you know. Uh-huh.
I'm so proud of you
Thank
that
you.
you
Thank you.
you held it together, and now you're helping so many women. But I have a question about that vision that you had. Like, what do you think
Uh-huh.
brought that on? Do you think it was the power of your prayer, and that you were working with praying with other women, like, or you really
Mm-hmm.
don't know because it's mystified, because it's God driven? But you
Yeah.
know, how did that?
It.
How does that
Yes.
work? Where you just wake up and have a vision?
I know. I literally was, you know, my girlfriend told me, she goes, you know, I said, I just don't know what to do. You know, I'm so tired, and I just don't know what to do. And she goes, yes, you do know what to do. You better get on your face and you better pray, you know? And so, like I said, I laid on the floor and she prayed over me. We prayed together. And literally that only happened to me one time in my life. And I literally stood up, and it was plain as day. Like I'm telling you, just like I'm, you know, looking straight ahead at a movie or something.